Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's history video brought to you by the Clinton Public Library. This week we will be examining the lead-up to the Shew Slayers trial in an article published in the October 24, 1913 edition of the Daily Clintonian, and how his lawyers gave up the ghost. Shew's slayer to stay in jail, lawyers give up. Ray Collins, who shot and killed Jack Shew at a saloon in Bunsen just a few months ago, journeyed to and surrendered himself at Newport to the sheriff on Saturday. The attorneys for the defense have since withdrawn, and the trial is hardly probable to begin 1 week from next Monday, the time fixed in the docket this term. The withdrawal of the attorneys is due to the indifference of the accused boy, who has apparently taken no interest in the case since he was released on bond 4 months ago. In addition, the young man had made no arrangement for the payment of the attorney's fee, and the lawyers could not see their way clear to assume the arduous work of the stake of their reputation for mere experience. When the young man was indicted, the attorneys, believing he and his friends were acting in good faith, devoted considerable time and some expense in securing bondsmen and getting the client his liberty so that he could consult with them and give them all assistance possible in the search for evidence. When the docket was called a couple of weeks ago, the attorneys were present, and still believing their client would do his part in the battle for his life and liberty, agreed to a time for trial. The attorneys sent word for the client to come to their office for consultation. They say he gave no attention to the calls. Every effort has been made to get Collins to come to town and meet with his lawyers, but all have failed, and the attorneys do not propose to go into a trial where a man's life and liberty is staked without preparation. By such action, they would not be doing either themselves or their client justice. While in Newport the other day, attorney Joseph Amiss, leader in the defense, made the facts known to Judge B. S. Altman and informed the court that neither he nor the firm of Miller and Pike would enter such an important trial without preparation. In making this statement, attorney Amiss withdrew his name and that of Miller and Pike from the case. When this action was taken and the peculiar indifference became known to the bondsmen, they became uneasy, and decided that if the alleged murderer had no interest in his fate, they did not care to hazard their money on him, and so decided to withdraw from the bond and have him be arrested and turned over to the sheriff. Attorney Amiss said this morning he has heard Collins has been sick during the recent past and is at this time not well. He stated, however, that he has not been sick during the entire 8 months and could have responded to calls and aided the attorneys in collecting the evidence and getting ready for the trial. Unless Collins has friends who will go behind him in the employment of counsel, he will be obliged to accept the services of a pauper attorney when his trial comes. It seems that despite a plethora of support from the community as well as friends and family, that Ray Collins was content to let his fate be decided without his input. Whether it be guilt, pessimism, arrogance, or flat-out laziness, his lack of participation and cooperation in his own case led to a drastic decrease in public interest. When trying to find the results of the scheduled trial, it was nowhere in any of the November issues of the Daily Clintonian available in our collection. Though there were 2 issues marked as missing, and the trial results could have been covered in one of them, the article does have a note of finality about it, where you can tell the author and community had written him off as guilty. It goes to show that while you are technically innocent until proven guilty in a fair trial, the people around you expect some sort of diligence or explanation in order to believe that innocence. Thank you for watching this week's history video, and we'll see you next time.